Moosin here with a quick PvP guide for Guardian Druids with changes going live on April 11th. We're going to talk about what those changes are, what they mean for you, and lastly, briefly talk about some more active and passive mitigation things on your Bear Druid. Now, let's go ahead and let's grab our copium here. And so we don't run out, let's make sure we hit that like and subscribe button because we're going to need a lot more. In my last video, I talked about the need for a rework around our mastery problems, but alas, this is not it. However, what we are getting though is a pat on the back, and further acknowledgement that Guardians aren't completely neglected. Like, one day we will get that rework, right? I mean, statistically, if we keep saying there is a rumor, it's bound to happen, eventually. Anyways, going into reset on the 11th, all Guardians' health and healing received from our mastery will be increased to 70%, and Barkskin's cooldown will be reduced to 45 seconds. In all seriousness, this is technically a buff, but like I was joking about earlier, you are receiving about a 40% increase to your mastery benefit. To put this in perspective, I have 2 Guardian Druids at the moment in full Season 1 gear. One Tauren, spec'd out Versatility and Haste, and one Kaltiran, spec'd out Versatility and Mastery. Now, saving you the hassle of pulling out your abacus, or calculator, the difference in their health pools is only 4,567 after this change. I give you this number because I know a lot of you are excited and are looking for the answer on if you should switch a stat priority. And the technical answer is no. Although druids as a whole respond very well to the trietary stats, haste remains the go-to at this time. But, I mean, play with what fits your style, because, after all, this is still a buff, and most Guardian Druids will net about 15 to 20,000 boost in their health overall with it. Turning to the change on Barkskin, this becomes a quality of life improvement, which, when paired with 2 points in survival of the fittest, will bring the cooldown to 31.5 seconds. So as a whole, these changes are positive, and honestly, Guardian Druids are in a good place, even though our mitigation process does need some attention when compared to the other tanks. Speaking of our mitigation, I just wanted to break that down a little bit from my initial video. Passively, we have our Mastery, which in theory is supposed to increase our health pool and make us a sponge. Yet, that is the hot topic all of us druids want to see fixed, as the health pool hasn't kept up with the DPS burst. So going back, remember, Guardians can't parry nor block. So outside of our health pool, we turn to active mitigation. Our first line being Iron Fur, which only mitigates physical damage and is built up over time. And the remainder of mitigation falling on the shoulders of Incarn, Rage of the Sleeper, Survival Instincts, and Barkskin. Now, I wanted to touch base on this again because A, it's really important, but I see a lot of Guardians either die in stuns or get globaled. You have to, and I mean you have to be proactive with your defensives. If you see big damage coming, get ahead of it with an ability, as it will take time for you to build up your Iron Fur, and if it's magical damage, consider being more aggressive, especially if you are burdened with flag stacks. Just remember to communicate though with your healers so you don't blow through or overlap your defensives. Well, that's all I have for you on this update. Something is better than nothing, and I'm happy for it. We are also quickly approaching 10.1, so stay tuned for that update video. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons if you've been enjoying my content, as it does help me and my small channel reach more people to assist them in their PvP goals. Thank you for joining, and I will see you on Twitch.